streaming now. So hopefully this lobby may be a little bit more stable for the guys. It was only, I think, Aussie Carters and Gecko having the issue. And they're obviously off the same internet, those guys.
Yeah.
So it could be a problem at their end more than anything, but we'll wait and see.
Yep.
I did notice that when we did load into the lobby in the that first race, it took us a while to actually load into the practice session. So
yes. Dano.
Okay, so welcome back, guys, to ANZ Combined Racing League's final race here at Zhuhai for race 2. The first race obviously was fairly wet, and these guys now have got the dry track and just coming to grips again to the cars with a little bit more grip, and they're all spinning off here at the moment. They're having a bit of issues, probably trying to put the power down. So welcome, Pegasus. We might have a bit of action here in the dry. We thought we had some action in the wet, but wait out for this dry race.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Yeah, sorry, I'm just watching this in the background, just going, oh my God. Is it still wet out there? They got slicks on, or they just eager because now they've got so much grip they think they can push a bit harder. As we've seen Dano in the wall, Metal drive off in the grass, and then I'm not quite sure who was behind him. It was that Aussie Carters?
Aussie in the yellow, I think it might be Aussie.
Yeah. Try and put it in the wall, but was unsuccessful. No, got Gecko, it was.
So, okay. Yeah. So you've got to remember that Gecko's got the yellow and Aussie's got the red.
The red, yeah. Even there, sliding around on the tail as he goes into that corner. So, let's look forward to some fun as we say, do the last race and say goodbye to China.
Yeah, that's it. And they'll be interested. They'll be excited to get out of China, I guess, away from the rice and back to the big hamburgers and chips over in America for the final round at Code Up, Circuit of the Americas. So, that's why I guess they. No, they seem to be liking to spread that coronavirus around with their big parties. But anyway, it'll be party time when the Formula Renaults come there next week, and. What a fitting round to have as the final round, because I guess after the guys eat all that American food, they probably won't find themselves fitting into these Formula Renaults again.
No, they won't.
A good time to get feasting on those nice hamburgers.
Yeah. So looking forward to that next week, and it's a test because it's a long track and it's a technical track. And there we go, there's another one off. Dark Lord out in the gravel. He's gone to say hello to his mum. He's come back. He's realised he's not in that stand. Oh!
They're coming almost blindsided, Dado.
Yeah.
Coming straight across the circuit there.
Look, that's one way to rejoin.
It is, yeah. Use all the track for more than you need to, but obviously must not have known Dado was there, or he might have had a moment coming onto the track and trying to keep it straight. But these are the things that obviously race etiquette is one of these things that they start to learn. Is obviously not full throttle coming back on the track on these cars. They sort of got to just gradually let it on.
Yep.
Otherwise, the bumps and coming on and the unevenness coming on can really bottom out the car and send you sideways, pitch you back into the wall.
And also you've got to learn to look at your relative. And if you're off the track, look at your relative. If someone's 10 seconds away from you, you've got to be aware that they're going to be on you when you actually get back on the track. So something for the new drivers out there that might be watching, always drive with your relative on. And there we go, end of practice now. Who's left to go. Up
to our famous little quick 5-minute qualifying that we're going to see for race 2. It always throws up a little bit of action because they only get their time for probably around they'll probably get 3 laps here. Or 2 to 3 laps, depending on how quick they can get out of the pit lane.
Yes.
And probably 2 laps, I'd say. I don't think they'll get a 3rd lap, but the laps are fairly quick around here. Around 1 minute 19, as you can see by Dread, but qualifying, you might see him drop that a little bit more to an 18.
Yes. Yeah, so
I can't remember what he was doing at practice earlier when it was actually a heavy cloud. I can't remember if it was a 15. Was it a 15 or a 16 they were doing? I can't remember now, but they were fairly quick. So
I'm not sure. I've watched so much racing and done so much racing in the last 2 days that those numbers sound familiar, but it could be from any circuit and any category. So, but I
Now,
think
just for
in the practice, I think
oh,
when Aussie Carter's pipped Dredd, that was the last qualifying, wasn't it? Aussie Carter's pipped Dredd
yeah,
in the dry, and I
that was
think
in
he
the
did a
dry. Yeah.
19. Yeah, I think Aussie did a 19.0 something, and Dredd did a
Okay.
19.2, so pretty similar. So, but these guys, they're on par, they're on pace with each other, and
Yeah.
I just got to give a big shout out to Matty Seeking, Citizen for Hire. I'm not quite sure what nationality he was running this week. Hit us up on the Facebook
But
page,
the
and I've seen Aussie Carters has joined him somewhere.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. Aussie Carters has got the bug there of guess my flag, guess my nationality, and yeah, we'll actually have a look at qualifying so we can have a better look at those flags and see if people can have a good look to see if they know what nationality they may be
Yes.
arriving from during this coronavirus pandemic.
So Aussie Carters is out. I think he'll get a warm-up lap and then 2 quick laps. I think that's what he'll get. He's doing 119s. Not sure if he'll get around again. I'm not quite sure who was next on track. I'll try and pull up my map again.
So there's obviously one person maybe in front of Matty Seekin. So whoever's in front of him,
Dark Lord.
it looks like that might be Dark Lord, yeah.
Yep. So I can't quite see who's behind him. So we've got Aussie Carters, Matty Seeking, Dark Lord. Let's have a guess.
It looks like Cirrus. Cirrus is behind Matty, his teammate.
Yep. And then we'll just guess. Got Gecko, he's got 2 people in between him.
Dado's in front of him, yep.
Dado, and I'm guessing Dredd in front of Dado. No, Dredd's come out last. So, Metal Drive.
Dredd.
And someone's off on the
Dredd might
Dark
only
Lord.
get... Dredd might... Dredd should get 2 laps still. Coming around, you'd think, yeah, you should get 1 lap and then the next lap will be his final. As we already know that... was it Gok Gecko that came out first or Aussie Carters?
Aussie Carters.
He's already starting his lap, yeah.
Yeah, on the flyer.
Braking hard there into turn 4 and 5. Turn 4 it is. A quick turn 6 leading up to turn 7, the hairpin.
Excuse me. I think they're all going to get 2 laps at this.
Yeah, a place where he really wants to make sure he gets a good drive out of turn 7 to the run up to turn 9. As I said, it's a little bit more than 90 degrees that corner, so there's a lot of guys sometimes come in a little bit hot and run wide. And same as this corner. This very fast exit out of turn 10 for the big run up to the turn 11. It's fairly tight on entry, but it actually opens up on the exit.
Yep. What we got?
And a fast kink into turn 13, and then we'll see the final corner, turn 14, using a lot of inside curb. Just staying off the outside curves where they can get unsettled, these cars. So he's actually putting it down in a solid first lap with a 19.161.
That's fast.
So he's put that, yeah, it's super fast.
I'm not quite sure who's next. Matty Seeking, yep. And he's seeking
20.6.
And the series goes faster.
And the lane comes Metal Drive. And then
Metal
Dado
Drive.
will be behind him.
Dado. Yeah, and then
They're
we've
all
got,
in the 20s.
Got Gecko, 21. Dark Lord and Dredd fast across the line.
So here comes Dredd to find what he does, a 19.360. So he's just a 0.2 of a second behind Aussie. So Aussie will actually get another lap in.
And if Dredd's quick enough, we might just get one as well.
Yeah, so Aussie will be happy with that opening, that banker. I don't know if it was a banker lap. I think he put it all on the line for that first lap. And it looks like Dredd is actually up at the moment, 0.03 of a second, faster than his first lap, as the tyres have probably worked into their operating temperatures now, as Aussie comes down. And he has bettered that again, 18.820. He's absolutely flying. So Dredd's got to find a little bit more time.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Michelin coming across the line now. And he go better. And he does, 0.15.
He has.
Doesn't beat his teammate though. His teammate.
Look at Cirrus. Cirrus has just put in a time half a second faster than his previous to be third on the grid at the moment. They're all going to get another lap in.
Dado, yeah. Got Gecko. Goes faster again, but not enough.
Dredd's not going to get another lap in. I think it's going to be very close. Or has he?
Oh, he's gone faster though.
Dredd is, yeah, he's actually pulled it out.
And no, he doesn't get another lap.
It's over. And as Dark Lord has put it into the fence. So now it's all up, and Aussie Carter's probably didn't either had a spin or he didn't have enough fuel, and he's retired, so he's actually found himself second on the grid. And now the question is, can CMDR Cirrus do anything about that, or hold his third position that he's currently holding? He's up a little bit into the second sector. It's the final part of the lap out of turn 12, 11 and 12.
Yep, and the final corner. That corner looks sharper than you think too.
Yeah, definitely it can be. And that outside catches you pretty quick.
I think he went faster, but it improved by not enough. All right, here we go. Final two across the line. Dado. Doesn't improve.
Metal don't look like they do anything. And Gecko will be interesting to see if he can get higher than the sixth position he was in. He's made one more position. He's actually just in front of Dado. So they'll be on the same row 3, both Gecko and Dado.
Yep.
And up front though, on pole, which will be on the outside, is Dredd 501. Aussie Carter's 32 will be in the inside on the front row, and he's the man with a nationality we're not too sure of. So if anyone knows what that flag is,
is that the
congratulations
in half and share it flag?
Oh, could be. It could be.
That's what it looks
be
like.
sharing his caring flag. It could be. Yeah. So CMDR Cirrus third, and Matty Seeking, both the teammates in the Zaya cars, Motorsport. They're third and fourth on the second row. And then Gecko and Dado, as we said earlier, on third row. And then up the rear will be Metal Drive 05 and Dark Lord 78. And let's see if he can do his 8th position into 4th like he did the first race, Pegasus. Yes. It'll be interesting with the dry run-in into the first corner.
It will be, and I just got to apologise to the people from that nation because we don't know where it's from. So apologies for our jest if you're watching this broadcast.
Yeah. Definitely, we don't mean anything bad by it. Obviously with Matty Seeking as well, we're not too sure where that is from. But I'm sure I've seen that symbol somewhere on maybe Karate Kid, and I'm not too sure.
Okay.
So anyway, we'll continue on and get these guys on the road, on the grid, ready to go. They've got 3 p.m. in the afternoon this race, the final race of round 4 at Zhuhai. The penultimate round of the Formula Renault Gold Cup of the ANZCRL Combined Racing Leagues Championship. This is Tier 1 that we're watching. Tier 2 is being run as well. And we've got a lot of interest here with the inter-team battles between Matty Seeking and CMDR Cirrus. At the moment, Cirrus has got the upper hand by about 2 points over Matty. And they're running 5th position at the moment, 5th and 6th in the championship. Dredd extended his lead over Aussie Carters, who had a very, very poor round that last race. And he had a bit of damage happening. And Dado was very upset with his running too, because he had a good run in on Gecko, with also Cirrus and Matty now only a couple of points behind Dado for run for 4th as well. So we could see a few changes at the end of this race here, Pegasus. So it'll be interesting to find the final results once we add all them up.
Yeah, it's starting to compress in the middle there. Looking forward to the next, like you say, looking forward to America. the end of this round, see where everybody is. As the lights are about to go green, the flag drops. Who's it going to be?
And
Turn
it's
one.
Goes 17 laps left here at China at Zhuhai, and it looks like Dredd has had a good start on the outside. And Matty Seeking sticking it down the inside of his teammate. With Cirrus just running wide. He's opened up now for Dado and also got Gecko to make the most of that. And it looks like he's actually at the rear of the grid now, Cirrus.
Yep. Everyone through safely. And Cirrus doesn't look to have any damage. Again, Dado's
Dado
gone
just
around.
spinning there.
We're not quite sure what happened. Did he get cleaned up? This car's not looking too good.
No,
Dark Lord doesn't look fast either, so...
he did it all on his own.
And got Gecko his way back here as well. So, same teams going at it, different drivers this time to get back to the front.
We did hear when he had a little spin, something like there might have been a little collision with cars collecting Dado because he spun right in front of that mean pack. But anyway, as we said, Aussie Carter's right on the back of Dredd's gearbox, not giving an inch here.
No, he's not. And why should he? DRS about to be activated, or is that next lap?
No, it's activated right from the start. So these guys pretty much run their DRS at any straight that they can find. So even little short straights, these guys, that's how they find their big lap times.
There's that random pit box I saw.
Yeah, that's it.
Seeing that
Aussie
right
was,
tyre there just locking up as it gets unloaded into turn one.
Yeah, they were fully at braking capacity there. Aussie was really at the limit. This is something that obviously Dredd's been really wanting to see. He loves his good battles, and this is exactly why they keep coming back. And Aussie Carter's, he doesn't want to be the follow-up. He wants to be the man out in front by the looks of this, because Aussie Carter's is sick of seeing the back of that number 11 Luigo Motorsport car, and he looks like he's having a good run, but it's going to put Dredd on the inside for turns 9 and 10. It's going to be a hard way for Aussie around the outside. He's trying to stick there. Pegasus, it's made it stick. What a great move by Aussie Carter's round the outside of turn 10.
And now
he's made his intentions clear with Dredd. Well, that's exactly the $1,000 question now. Aussie just needs to keep it straight and see what he can do here.
Yeah, that was a fantastic bit of driving by both drivers there, side by side through the tightest part of the course, give each other room. You know, and when it looked like it was going to keep going on, one of them's done the smart thing, pulled out and says, "Hey, there's still 15 laps to go. Anything can happen."
Exactly right. And that's where you get the top drivers seem to always, the cream on the top, they just keep rising because they just know when to let the battle, you know, give up and then resettle and come back at them. But Metal Drive having trouble trying to get that the car settled on power.
Yep, bit of oversteer there. Not used to it after just driving for about 3/4 of an hour in the wet. And Commander Cirrus, what a drive. He was last, as we saw, after turn one, but now back up into 4th spot and 2 seconds off his teammate. So chasing down, and we'll go to his teammate, Matty Seeking, up in the podium position at the moment. And he drove a really well, consistent, strong race the last race, so maybe he'll hang on. We hope so. Good for him to come home with a podium. And
at this stage, as they stand, they'll actually be finding themselves, both Matty Seeking and CMD Cirrus leapfrog Dado, and Dado will drop from 4th down to 6th position in the championship standings with this result. So hasn't been a good outing in China for Dado at the moment. So hopefully he can pick up some pieces. It's still a long way to go in the race. But I don't know, has he got some damage? Is he holding some damage there? We're not too sure if he's carrying any damage after that spin.
Yep. I'd like to have known what his fortune cookie was this morning. We'll go back to the lead.
Obviously wasn't good.
It wasn't good. As we got Dredd now, chasing down Aussie Carter's. What's he going to do? Just sit there and wear him away? I watched this and I'm trying to think of the name, Bruno. I watched this happen to Bruno. Dredd sat 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds behind Aussie for all of the race, and then in the last 2 laps clawed it back And of course, came away with the win by 8 thousandths of a second. Is that what he's going to do? He's got the patience.
Well,
He's proved it.
he definitely does.
And how's tyre wear at this circuit? Is tyre wear bad? We didn't get to see it because of wet.
Not an issue really with these cars. It's not a very high deg sort of track on these tyres.
Yep.
Especially the 17 laps that they're going to see, the tyres should be well and truly still in their window. That's for sure, operating window.
Yep. Come all across the line, complete lap 4. Sorry, time's fine. Lap 4. On to lap 5. Holding station here. Who haven't we checked out at the moment? Dark Lord. Here he is.
Yeah, currently running 6 again. So he finished 6th in the last race, I think it was. So yeah, doing a good job still, and he's got a lead over Gecko of what 7 seconds. So Gecko got held up, obviously caught up in that incident with Dado spinning in front of the field in turn 4, just getting it a bit wrong. So maybe he's had a bit of an afternoon on a few nice liquid beverages. We don't know, and maybe be a bit too relaxed for these cars at the moment. So, or he just had an old man's moment and had a brain fart. We don't know.
We don't know. A bit of a lock up there from Dark Lord. Goes into that corner. Gets it over it okay. It's plodding on nicely. Excuse me.
Yeah, so it's good to see. Hopefully, Dark Lord, he's actually running faster those last laps than Gecko, but Dado's picking up the pace again. So he's doing laps comparable to the leaders at the moment. So it'd be interesting to see. Obviously, Dado hasn't carried on any damage through that spin that he had because he's been able to match the faster sort of times in the 21s at the moment, as most of the top 3 are doing. And Gecko just trying to chase down Dark Lord and keep Dado at bay. Bay, he's got 2 double Ds around him, so sometimes that's an excitement thing, and other times with Gecko's situation at the moment. Oh, here he is. He's actually into the pit, so obviously he has got some damage.
Or he just needs to get out of the double Ds.
Could be getting a little bit sweaty there, and needs to get out and chase down Dado here. So maybe he obviously has got damage. He did mention in that first race he sustained damage without even hitting anything. So they could be having some connection problems, both Got Gecko and Aussie Carters. But Aussie out at front at the moment, obviously not having any issues. But they both share the same internet, those guys. They're both brothers, so hence where they're in their A&M racing team. But at the moment, Aussie seems to have the better connection at the moment and running smoothly in front of Dread, but only half a second. It's going to be interesting to see how this pans out.
It is, and I'm looking forward to this battle. This is well, we're not quite sure where the championship will end up. We've still got this race and 2 more to go, but potentially it's the battle for the championship. 1 and 2, who's going to reign supreme? And if not, it's going to be bragging rights. Either way. So,
yeah, Aussie's just having a hard time. You know, every time he puts it in and wins the race, unfortunately Dread's always running second. So he just needs a little bit of luck go his way and a bit of bad luck go Dread's way, and have Dread have an issue, and you can well and truly see this championship come to be decided at the final round at Circuit of Americas next week.
Yep. All right, go to 3rd place. Matty Seeking driving quite well, improved a lot over this series. Starting to get more consistent. He's got a good pace. Showing his teammate the way at the moment. His teammate would be spewing because he did qualify in front of him and got a reasonable start, but ran wide in turn 1. Had to avoid some carnage on the way back, but Matty Seeking's got the better of him at the moment. And Randy Well, again, we talk about how he just has these moments. He's a fast driver. He's pretty consistent, but he just has a moment every now and then in each race, which is costing him. Once he's ironed that out, he'll be up there chasing Aussie and Dread for sure.
Oh, definitely, yeah. But Matty Seekin obviously is becoming one of the Renaults at the moment. He's feeling fairly comfortable as he's been, especially after Road America, he's really upped his level. And Cirrus, being his teammate, may have helped him along the way too with some tuning setup. You know, some help with some of the tuning.
Yep.
For Matty. I'll let it leak out a little bit for Matty, and obviously he's on his way. So it's obviously, again, the inner team battle here. They're going to find themselves in 4th and 5th after this round,
And possibly tied.
they're going to, yeah, possibly tied at the end of this. So it could be very interesting at Coda for the final round. Aussie's just breaking out to nearly, he's just extended his lead just a little bit over Dredd. So it's looking good for Aussie at the moment. They've gone past halfway, and Aussie's really settling himself into this race. And it's definitely going to be hard work though behind the wheel for Aussie at the moment, because he'll be staring in his review mirrors down the straights just to see where Dredd is.
Yes. Yeah, it's a bit of a distraction. One eye in front, one eye in the mirror, when you should be looking full ahead. Yeah, what do you do? Personally, I'd like to jump in there and turn everything off and just see the road, and ignore what's going on behind. But at the same time, you've got to keep your relative on so you know when you're catching someone or if something's happening. So, yeah, a bit of a distraction. It's one thing to lead a race, it's another thing to win it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I'm sure that's going through Aussie's mind at the moment, just thinking about Bruno back at round 2 there. Yes. I think that was race, I'm just trying to think what race that was.
Race 3.
He got beaten. Race
first
3.
Race. Yeah, first race at Bruno.
Race, yeah. And getting done by a skin of his teeth. So definitely he'll be looking at the mirror here, and looks like Dredd has just put out a 20.779, so he's thinking it's about time I up the ante here.
We've lost Dado.
Dado's has retired, and obviously had enough of that car, and could have had a disconnection. We don't know yet, but obviously he's a man that doesn't normally like to quit out, so we'll see.
Yep, so maybe he's had an issue. A lot of bad weather going around Australia at the moment. Might have had a blackout. We've suffered a few of those from people in the last few weeks. So yeah, unfortunate for Dado. We would have loved to have seen him compete and complete, but not to be tonight. So, alright. So who else we have? Like Dark Lord. Haven't looked at him for a while. Again, he'd be happy to be touring around. He's got to finish a race. Oh, well, that was a weird reaction by a car. So,
in 6th at the moment, again still holding 6, and with a minute lead over Gecko, who had to pit for maybe some damage repair. He could be looking for himself, as long as he keeps on that black stuff, finishing 6th again, 2-6. He'll be happy with that result, and.
Especially
Metal
after
Drive
last week.
Currently in 5th as well. He's 14 seconds in front, so you never know. Oh, and I was just going to say, you never know. If Metal makes a little mistake, Dark Lord will be right on him, and this is going to be exactly what we thought. So,
and that was just in front of the leader as well. Oh no, was it? Was that? Sorry, got Gecko. It was got Gecko.
Got Gecko.
Yep. Got my cars mixed up.
So Dark Lord.
He must have had a moment as well.
Himself.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's had a big moment actually.
Oh, there we go.
Very slow.
Same corner.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. So you've got to grab these opportunities when you can, but unfortunately, obviously, he's had a little moment. Maybe there's a bit of oil dropped down on the track.
Yes.
So you never know. Hopefully it doesn't catch out the leaders, Aussie Carters and Dredd. They'll be coming through all around that area fairly shortly, I'd say.
Alright, let's go aboard with Dredd, do a lap, see how it's done.
Yeah, turn up the volume, guys, and just enjoy this.
So, I think I recall that this circuit was basically...
Have a good look in down the inside.
Getting distracted there, looking at the circuit. This circuit was basically made up of some of the best corners from other circuits. Does that sound right to you? Because that last corner out of the straight reminds me a lot of Hockenheim, turn 1 at Hockenheim. And you think it's a fast corner and it's open, but it tightens on exit. Yeah, I know, but it's a lot of corners are deceptive here. So we see them closed up once more. Fred's starting to push laps well. There's only 5-6 laps to go, so you're going to make a move. Now's the time. Just put some pressure on Aussie, see if he can force a mistake. Yeah, this is the battle we want to see. Oh, I'm looking at Matty Seeking and Commander Cirrus. Matty Seeking's had a moment. Commander Cirrus has got past him. Yeah, he's just come back on. We're just praising him.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's found the wall because he's got no nose cone there.
Yep, no nose.
So this is going to pay into also Metal Drive, and we've got Gecko coming up to get back on the same lap there of Matty Seeking, and as we know, their pit stops seem to last for quite a while in there for front nose damage repair. So basically, you'd think that he might just come out in front of Gecko, or if not, just behind. So unfortunately, going to see Metal Drive now in 4th and Dark Lord into 5th when Matty gets into the pits for that repair. Up in front with 4 laps remaining, or nearly 4 laps remaining.
Yep.
Is Aussie Carter's with Dread, who's had his little push the previous lap, and he's just backed it off a little bit, maybe just to cool things down, and come back at him for the final few laps. So it's definitely been a race on between these two. This second race here at Zhuhai.
Yep.
And Aussie Carter's making the move of the round as well, round the outsides of turns 9 and 10. It was an outstanding move, and he was just confident all the way. He didn't back down, and he just kept it on the outside. And it was great driving by Dread, good awareness to know that he was staying on the outside, and tried to squeeze him a little bit out of turn 9, but basically gave up into turn 10 because it's such a fast corner on entry in turn 10 as well. So didn't want to get his front of his nose clipped from Aussie, because he already knew that he was set his intentions clear that he was going to make this move around the outside.
Yeah, I'm just going to cut to Matty Seeking here. I was thinking coming out of the pits, it looked a bit erratic as he came down the pit lane, and that left-hand front doesn't look too good. See if we can get on board. Definitely a lot of toe wind there.
Yeah, he might have only had front damage repair and had suspension not to be repaired, and this could be the issue that he's having right now. Not having the strategy set at the right repair.
Yeah, and we're definitely struggling. It's hard enough on a wheel when you've got damage like that, but on a controller, it'd be almost impossible.
Yeah. So he's just pulling out of the way, but here we go here on lap 14, coming near the end of the 14th lap to start their 15th. So Dredd is running out of time. Has he got anything up his sleeve? This number 11 Luigo Motorsport car.
I don't think he has.
It'll take those a little pinch of the brake from Aussie, and we don't want to see that, because he's driven probably one of his best races Aussie has driven. He has not let down the pressure on Dredd.
No, he hasn't. It's kept him honest all championship. And it'd be tragedy for someone to go out now, unless, and we want to see good, clean racing, of course. We don't want to see mistakes. But at the same time, that's part of the craft of racing, isn't it? It's to force your opponent into a mistake. But you've got to get close enough. And Fred's dropped back almost to 1.5 seconds behind now, so maybe he's saving up for another go. Maybe he's just said, I'll concede this race and think of the championship. and just bring it home. But I'm going to say that, and in 2 tenths, he's picked up 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths in a blink of an eye. So this must be the part of the circuit where he's quicker.
Yeah, it definitely seems that way. He seemed to have trouble trying to get the power down the slower corner earlier on out of the hairpin, I think it was, out of turn 7, and that's where he lost a bit of time. But running a bit wide over the curbs onto the main straight here.
Yep.
The starting straight, but still kept the boot in. So 2 more
late
seconds around Zhuhai.
And look at that.
Very good under brakes. Made up a mountain of time under the brakes there. But obviously he compromised his exit because he came in so hot as well.
Let's see. We're right on board.
Mate,
and he's taking down. Into the corner, down to first gear. Hard on the throttle. Second, third, up to fourth, up to fifth. Pulling 260 k's as they come into this corner. Hard on the brakes. Down to second. Oh, Aussie gets a bit wrong there. Starting to feel the pressure now. It's the memory of Bruno coming back.
I think Dredd had a little bit of aero wash there. You've seen him have a little twitch, and he was having a good exit there, but just needed that bit of aero.
Yep. Needed that on the front.
It's pretty close to Aussie. We've just lost another person. It looks like maybe not
Matty.
sure who it was actually.
Matty's
seeking. Yeah.
Oh, watch out for that sign. Aussie's got
here
a
we
fence
go.
in
We've
here.
got Aussie.
Just those engines crackle. Oh, as he goes around the
outside.
Can't quite get it done. Final lap. Coming to the final lap. It's amazing stuff. Oh, once again,
Where do you
he's
think he
all
might have him?
I think down into this hairpin here is the one, isn't it?
Into turn 7. I think that he might be strong into turn 11, out of turn 10. He was tried to set him up earlier, but got that aero wash coming out of turn 10 because it was fairly close. So this time around, so we're coming up to the turn 9 and 10. This is the area where I think
he's all over
so
it.
he gets a good exit here.
Yep.
He's tried, but he's not quite there.
It's got no DRS, just hits DRS now. Or do I get that wrong? When it's black, it's DRS, and when it's white, it's off?
I'm not too sure. It could be a
nice
little bit delayed.
It'd be nice if the flaps open.
Here he goes. Their final corner, and it looks like Aussie might just have it. It's going to be almost another Bruno race, but Dredd got checked then. He definitely had a run on, but had nowhere to go, and actually just tagged just the back of Aussie Carter's, and he definitely did have a run coming on the final corner. It was almost deja vu back in from Bruno from the first race there. So congratulations to Aussie Carter's taking out a sensational victory.
Found him at last.
With Dark Lord coming 5th.
Dark Lord.
And Metal Drive 4th, so he's had a good run, 3rd and 4th. And CMDR Cirrus now has obviously extended his lead over his teammate. And got Gecko coming home, picking up the pieces in 6th.
Metal Drive. Yes, that was so similar to Bruno. But Aussie kept it out wide and didn't allow Dredd to go keep the run on and get the run on around the outside. That was the difference here. I think if there was a bit more room on the outside, Dredd, he would have got close. Whether he beat him on the line, I don't think so. But what a great race. So 0.3 of a second in the end, but it was so much closer than that. If you'd like to run through
so
the
you could almost say, for the battle of the close finishes, it's 1-1 now. Aussie's got it back even with Dredd, so he'd be happy with that. So Aussie Carter's taken the victory over Dredd, and then 3rd CMDR Cirrus in that Xavier car, and then Metal Drive 05 4th. He'll be happy with that, as will Dark Lord in 5th. And then Got Gecko taking up the final position with Matty Seeking. Actually, I've just heard that he actually had the game freeze on him, and the next minute he was in the wall. So that's very unfortunate having that happen, because he was actually in front of Cirrus maybe at the time, and that's why we actually had to see him come into the pit. So unfortunate about that, but these things do happen. And I'm not too sure if he makes the 70% distance there. It'll be close to be actually be able to grab some points here, but we'll check all that on the final result. So anyway, that's it. Thank you, Pegasus, for joining us
Thank
tonight
you.
and bringing it out to everyone. And please come and have a look at us on the on Facebook, ANZCRL in groups. You'll find us there. We're for Australian, New Zealand races only on project cars. And also we have got our website still going at ozaus-nzcrl.com.au. And
And now Instagram.
sorry, that's there. And then Instagram as well. There's a page there. So we're slowly building up all those channels. And I think I got the website wrong, did I? But
You left out the
anyway,
Weebly.
Weebly.com, yeah. So anyway, there we go. And we'll be here again next week, same time, and to bring you the final round. And we'll start off with obviously the championship standings there, and try and
forward to that.
see what happens. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Thank you so much.
Yep. Bye.